Summer is here, and everything you need for adventure is waiting at shockshop.us. Gear up with camping essentials, stylish bathing suits for fun in the sun, reliable generators for every outdoor trip, kayaks, dinghies, and water toys for non-stop excitement. From backyard fun to lakeside escapes, shackshop.us has it all. Shop the summer sale now and save big at shackshop.us.
Savannah Guthrie's emotional plea as mystery surrounding her mother's disappearance deepens. The disappearance of Nancy Guthrie has become one of the most talked about missing person investigations in the United States, drawing national attention because of both the troubling circumstances surrounding her disappearance and the emotional appeals made by her family. As weeks have turned into months, investigators continue searching for answers, while loved ones struggle with uncertainty, hope, and fear. Now, nearly 5 months after Nancy Guthrie vanished from her home in Arizona's Catalina foothills, a new development has intensified public interest in the case. Reports indicate that a second ransom-style communication sent to media organizations claimed that Nancy Guthrie died shortly after being taken, though authorities have not publicly confirmed the authenticity of the message. The latest revelation has left investigators sorting through new questions, while family members continue pleading for information from anyone who may know what happened. A family living through a nightmare. For many Americans, Savannah Guthrie is a familiar face. As one of the country's most recognized television journalists, she has spent years delivering news to millions of viewers. Yet behind the cameras and headlines, she and her family are facing a deeply personal tragedy. Speaking publicly about her mother's disappearance, Savannah delivered an emotional appeal that resonated with audiences across the country. She described the relentless pain her family has experienced since Nancy vanished, explaining that every day has become a struggle, marked by uncertainty and unanswered questions. According to Savannah, the public may see the story as another news headline, but for her family, it is a reality that never stops. Every morning begins with the same questions. Every evening ends without answers. Every phone call brings hope and anxiety. Every lead offers the possibility of a breakthrough or another disappointment. The emotional burden has extended beyond immediate family members and affected children, grandchildren, relatives, friends, and neighbors, who continue hoping for resolution. Savannah's message was direct and heartfelt. Someone may know something that could help investigators. Even a seemingly insignificant detail could prove crucial. The family has repeatedly encouraged anyone with information to contact authorities, emphasizing that tips can often be provided anonymously. The day Nancy Guthrie disappeared. The investigation began after Nancy Guthrie disappeared from her residence in the Catalina foothills area north of Tucson. The neighborhood is known for its scenic desert landscapes, upscale homes, and generally quiet atmosphere. Residents often describe the community as peaceful and safe. When Nancy could not be located, concern quickly escalated. Law enforcement agencies began examining her last known movements, searching her property, interviewing potential witnesses, and collecting evidence that might provide insight into what happened. As investigators worked to establish a timeline, the case rapidly evolved into one of Arizona's most closely watched missing person investigations. The mystery deepened because there appeared to be no immediate explanation for her disappearance. Authorities faced numerous possibilities: voluntary disappearance, medical emergency, accident, abduction, or criminal activity. As evidence accumulated, investigators increasingly focused on the possibility that Nancy had been taken against her will. Early search efforts. In the initial days following the disappearance, search teams mobilized extensively. Investigators examined the surrounding terrain, reviewed surveillance footage, interviewed neighbors, and analyzed available evidence. Search operations in Arizona can be especially challenging due to the state's vast desert landscapes. Rugged terrain, extreme temperatures, remote locations, and wildlife all complicate efforts to locate missing individuals. Authorities deployed significant resources while hoping to uncover evidence that would point toward Nancy's whereabouts. Community members also joined the effort. Neighbors posted flyers. Friends shared information online. Volunteers participated in awareness campaigns. Despite widespread attention, the investigation struggled to generate the breakthrough everyone hoped for. The appearance of ransom notes. One of the most unusual aspects of the case emerged when ransom-style communications reportedly surfaced. Such messages immediately alter the dynamics of an investigation. Law enforcement agencies must determine whether communications are genuine, misleading, fraudulent, or connected to individuals seeking publicity. In many high-profile cases, investigators received numerous false tips and misleading claims. As a result, every communication requires careful analysis. Authorities examine language patterns, writing style, digital origins, technical metadata, delivery methods, and potential motives. The appearance of ransom notes in the Nancy Guthrie case created a new layer of complexity. Investigators had to determine whether the messages came from someone directly connected to the disappearance or from individuals attempting to exploit public attention. A disturbing new message. Months into the investigation, reports emerged regarding a second communication allegedly sent to multiple media outlets. According to those familiar with the matter, the message claimed Nancy Guthrie died shortly after she was taken. The communication reportedly suggested that her captors never intended harm and expressed regret regarding her death. The message allegedly included statements indicating she had perished shortly after she was taken and was now buried with nature. Those claims immediately generated widespread attention. However, authorities have not publicly confirmed the accuracy of the statements contained within the communication. Investigators remain cautious whenever evaluating messages connected to active cases. A claim appearing in a letter, email, or ransom demand does not automatically mean the information is true. Determining credibility requires extensive forensic analysis and investigative work. Why investigators remain careful. Experienced investigators know that criminal cases often attract individuals who seek attention by inserting themselves into ongoing investigations. False confessions, fabricated tips, and misleading communications are unfortunately common. For this reason, authorities must carefully verify every detail before drawing conclusions. Questions investigators likely consider include: who sent the message? How was it transmitted? Can the sender be identified? Does the sender possess non-public information? Are claims supported by evidence? Does the communication contain verifiable facts? Without answers to these questions, investigators cannot determine whether a message is genuine. As a result, law enforcement officials continue treating the communications as pieces of evidence rather than definitive proof. Challenges for federal investigators. Tracking anonymous communications presents significant challenges. Modern technology provides numerous ways for individuals to conceal their identities. Encrypted services, anonymous email accounts, virtual private networks, and cryptocurrency transactions can complicate investigative efforts. In this case, reports indicated that no money or cryptocurrency payments were made in response to the communications. Without financial transactions, investigators lose one potential avenue for identifying suspects. Financial activity often creates digital trails. Without those trails, investigators must rely on alternative forensic methods. Expert analysis. Former federal investigators and hostage negotiators have weighed in on the unusual nature of the communications. One aspect drawing attention is the reportedly apologetic tone. Experts note that ransom demands are typically focused on leverage. Individuals seeking payment generally issue demands rather than apologies. An apology can sometimes suggest circumstances changed unexpectedly. However, experts also caution against assuming too much from the wording alone. People involved in criminal acts do not always behave predictably. Messages may be designed to manipulate emotions, create confusion, or influence investigative strategies. Consequently, experts emphasize that language analysis should be considered alongside physical evidence and investigative findings. The emotional impact on families. For relatives of missing persons, every development can trigger powerful emotional reactions. A new lead may inspire hope. A troubling report may create despair. A possible sighting may reignite optimism. A dead end may bring heartbreak. Families often endure months or years of emotional uncertainty. Unlike cases where outcomes are known, missing person investigations leave loved ones trapped between hope and fear. Psychologists sometimes describe this experience as ambiguous loss. The person is absent, but their fate remains unknown. Family members frequently struggle with anxiety, sleep difficulties, depression, feelings of helplessness, chronic stress, and emotional exhaustion. Savannah Guthrie's public comments reflected many of these challenges. Her words revealed a family desperately searching for answers while trying to maintain hope. Community support. Throughout the investigation, community members have demonstrated support through awareness campaigns and public displays of solidarity. Neighbors have displayed signs, local residents have shared updates, volunteers have amplified information online. Support networks often become essential during long-term investigations. Families frequently depend on communities to maintain public awareness and encourage the flow of new information. History has shown that some missing person cases are solved months or even years later because someone finally comes forward with a detail investigators previously lacked. Why tips matter. Law enforcement agencies consistently stress the importance of public assistance. Many major criminal cases have been solved because ordinary citizens noticed something unusual or remembered a detail that seemed unimportant at the time. Investigators often encourage people to report information even if they are uncertain about its significance. A small observation can sometimes connect critical pieces of evidence. Information that appears insignificant on its own may become important when combined with other evidence. The search continues. Despite months passing since Nancy Guthrie disappeared, investigators continue pursuing leads. Modern investigations often involve multiple agencies working together, utilizing digital forensic analysis, cellular data review, geographic profiling, witness interviews, search operations, financial analysis, and behavioral assessments. Cases involving potential abductions often require substantial resources and long-term commitment. Investigators remain focused on determining exactly what happened and identifying anyone responsible. National attention. The involvement of a nationally recognized media figure has brought extraordinary attention to the case. That attention carries both advantages and challenges. On one hand, widespread coverage increases awareness and encourages potential witnesses to come forward. On the other hand, public scrutiny can generate rumors, misinformation, and speculation. Authorities frequently urge the public to rely on verified information rather than unconfirmed reports circulating online. Hope amid uncertainty. Missing person cases often test the resilience of families in extraordinary ways. Yet many families continue searching regardless of how much time passes. Hope becomes a driving force. For Savannah Guthrie and her relatives, that determination remains evident. They continue encouraging the public to stay engaged, remain vigilant, and report anything that might assist investigators. Their message is simple but powerful. Someone may know something, someone may have seen something, and someone may hold the key to solving the mystery. Until answers are found, the search for Nancy Guthrie continues. As investigators work through evidence, analyze communications, and pursue every available lead, one goal remains unchanged: discovering the truth about what happened and providing long-awaited answers to a family that has spent months living through unimaginable uncertainty. Whether the breakthrough comes from forensic evidence, investigative work, or a tip from the public, loved ones continue holding on to hope that one day the mystery surrounding Nancy Guthrie's disappearance will finally be solved.